if you want to avoid long lines, intense heat, and massive crowds at Universal Orlando, then timing is everything. And today I'm going to be breaking down pretty much the best times to go to Universal Orlando in 2025 and even 2026. So I'm just going to be I'll talk about events, pretty much anything. Uh, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to start. So mid-January to mid-February, even early January is great. It's a great area because it's just finished New Year's Eve. You know, I don't know how to really explain it, but crowds are low. And overall, I will say this before I get into the other months, that weekdays are always better than weekends. Weekends and, holidays will always be like more crowded and overall have more people at Universal Orlando. So I think, yeah, weekdays is the best if you are, able to go on weekdays. Anyway, so mid-January, January to, I'm just going to say January, is one of the slowest times in my opinion at Universal Orlando. I personally love going in January. Although there isn't many events on, it's still a great time, and that also causes less people to be around at the parks. And yeah, the weather is also cool, so it's not going to be too hot. So yeah. And then there's early May, kind of before Memorial Week. Oh my gosh. Early May before Memorial Day weekend is also a sweet spot to go to Universal, just because of the fact, again, it's just spring break is over, and also summer hasn't kicked in yet, so not only is most people going to be at school, also it's not going to be too hot, hopefully, and wait times are normally reasonable about this time, so it is a great time to go. It's still warm a little bit, but it's, not brutal like the, summer Florida heat. There's a plane going over my house. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that. You can't, I don't think you can. I don't know. Mid-September to mid-October, I will say there is Halloween Horror Nights going on at this time. Great, event. I love Halloween Horror Nights, but big fan of Halloween Horror Nights. I'm sure a lot of people are. They are. I'm sure a lot of you guys are, is what I mean. But yeah, so crowds can be quite, I don't know how to, explain it, but crowds can be around during these times, and also Universal closes early during the, Halloween Horror Nights, so you won't get as much park time unless you are heading, to the event. Yeah. Then, but it is still a great time to go. I mean, school is back in season, meaning it's going to be low on crowds during the day. Anyway, first 2 weeks of December. Also, I will say first 2 weeks of November are also great. Because I've heard that from someone else. I forgot where I heard it. First 2 weeks of November can apparently be really amazing. Low crowds, you can get on rides really easily. And first 2 weeks of December, the parks are fully decorated for Christmas, which is a beautiful sight to see. So, yeah, and also quite early December, the Christmas rush hasn't started yet, meaning there won't be as many people in the parks. Just my opinion. One of the most underrated times to go because you do still see the Christmas decorations. Now I'm going to talk about the worst times to visit. So before I talk about that, if you know exactly what date you're going, actually no, I'll talk about tips at the end. So spring break, all the schools are out and the parks hit normally, well not normally, but a lot of the time, peak capacity. So it sucks. Summer, it's going to be brutal, very hot, and also there might be summer crowds, as you know. It's hot, humid, packed. Thunderstorms also is a big factor to consider. Christmas to New Year's, this is always busy. I think it was last year when New Year's in City Walk was just packed. If I can find a photo, I will put it on the screen somewhere. But yeah, the park's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But yeah, the wait times are horrendous. Thanksgiving week can also be really packed. But yeah. Now, event seasons to plan around Universal. If you do want to go to these events, obviously, plan around them still because you are going to them. But just letting you know. So Mardi Gras, which is February to April, which is live concerts, parades, and food. Very fun. I think I've been to one or two of them. But more crowded on the weekends. So, again, on weekends, it's crowded. Halloween Horror Nights, September to November. Massive crowds in the evenings, which is, like what I said. It's great for thrill seekers, though, as, there's houses. But if that's what I mean by when I say thrill seekers, as in horror, I don't know. But not so great for families because those families obviously aren't going to Halloween Horror Nights, and the parks close very early, so something to consider. Christmas holidays, very crowded, like I said. And then, so now I'm going to be talking about tips. So, Undercover Tourist, I believe the website is. I'll put it in the description if you do want to see it. It is very dark on my camera, jeez. But I'll put it in the description if you want to see it. I'm going to have to calibrate to make this lighter. Anyway. It's a crowd calendar, so if you know what date you're going, this is what I was going to talk about before, you can actually see how the crowds will be on that day. I know most people try to plan around crowds just because of the fact that, crowds are really annoying when you have to wait 2 hours to get on one ride. 2 hours, it's a long time. Maybe like an hour at most. That's not for Hagrid's, though. Hagrid's can go up. And then you can also travel midweek. So, like I said, weekdays are great. I would say Monday to Friday. Friday gets a bit busy in the evening because people are off school, but other than that, it's fine. Staying at Royal Pacific or Portofino Bay, Hard Rock Hotel gives you an express pass, which you can skip the lines. So premier hotels, which I will be making another video on very shortly. So watch out for that one, depending on when you are watching this. And then you want to... I think that's it, actually. Yeah, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this helped, and if it did, please do like and subscribe. I would appreciate it a bunch. If you want to know more tips, I will put a video up here, something that may help. I don't know, I'll think about it when I'm editing. And, if you want to know anything more about Universal, crowd hacks, anything like that, like and subscribe. I already said that. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.